place final. 9th place is also the result that Italy got in the last tournament from Makarska, so they'll be looking to repeat that this tournament. Moving swiftly on though, as you see, we now have in just a couple of minutes time Portugal women against Turkey women. I've been really impressed with this Turkish team. They've not quite got the results yet, but they do look dangerous, they do look athletic. Not the biggest bunch, but they're technically good, they're quick, they're nippy, they're evasive, they're creative. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do here against the more experienced Portugal team. Interestingly, in Makarska, Turkey did finish above Portugal. Just in 10th place, Turkey, 11th place, Portugal. So Turkey, with a win here, can secure their participation in the Rugby Europe Championship next season. If they avoid those last two spaces, they will not be relegated, and that is what a win in this game would seal for them. So a lot at stake here. Equally, Portugal, if they want to stay in the championship, they must win this game. They are in the relegation zone at the moment. Yeah, so maybe not a game at the top,
for you as a team. Tell us all
still
about
just
it.
as important.
Thank you. So we are very excited of this game because it allows us to stay in this championship, and it was a good achievement for us.
Yeah, so difficult for you the last few weeks, having to change the team almost completely. It's difficult to get the flow in your game, isn't it?
Yeah, we know each other, but we don't play usually together.
Yeah.
So it isn't easy for us to have a feeling and to impose our game.
Yeah, and sevens is all about that feeling, that connection sometimes, and if you don't have a lot of time together, it's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but hey, congratulations on staying or keeping your status, and all of the best for the rest of the weekend. You have one game today, tomorrow you have another game, but all of the best for that, and well done, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Thank you.
And we're back with the game. Turkey on the attack in the Portuguese 22. They maintain possession and look to build towards the first score of the game. But that's a turnover, so Portugal attacking from deep. A lot of space here to run into. Little switch play, get the ball back inside. There's a lot of space to be found there. Moving from one side of the pitch to the other while still maintaining the momentum forward. A promising Portuguese attack. Second support, a little bit late in this situation, so they don't have the option to move it on quickly. That gave the Turkish defensive line the opportunity to push up and apply pressure. There's a Turkish player down in backfield, so they're playing with 6 at the moment. There's a big gap in the middle of the pitch where she should be defending. They reacted a little bit late to that, and Portugal taking the opportunity seriously, but she's dragged down. What a try-saving tackle. No, a try-prolonging tackle only. What a shame. But that was great opportunistic play from this Portuguese side.
Yeah, Costa making a lovely break out there. We thought she was going to go the whole way, showing some great power through the middle, but only to be cut down by the Turkish defense, which was good cover tackle, but Santos was on hand to receive that pass and put the score on the board for Turkey.
And here we see the conversion attempt. It has just fallen short. And the Turkish player who hurt herself in that last phase of play is still down, so some concern there. They've not made a replacement yet, so there must be hope. No, but it looks like she will have to be replaced. Putting her body on the line for her national team. And being replaced here by Gulnazak. Portugal to get us back underway here. Knock on while attempting to catch the kickoff is advantage to Portugal. The advantage is not coming. So we'll go back for the scrum.
Yeah, frustrating little knock on there. She didn't turn her body at all, did she? Jumped up with two hands, just off the chest, off the upper arms. A little knock on there, rather than securely catching it in her two hands. Scrum time for Portugal. Opportunity to see what speed they've got out wide, possibly.
And here we go. Distributing the ball nicely, little stutter step, going backwards to go forwards, getting the offload away. The Turkish defenders swarming around the ball carrier here. But well recycled. That's quick ball, and there is space. There's a little bit of a mismatch here. And Portugal's number 7, Mota Marquez, making light work of a tricky situation and scoring Portugal's second, Andy.
Yeah, Mota Marquez, a lovely balanced runner. She just had a little stutter step just to hold that Turkish defence and then take them on the outside. She scored a few tries like that this weekend. As you can see, little fend comes in as well, followed by a little outside swerve, staying inside the try in the sideline, and then dots down for a try. 10-0 with a conversion to come. Not to be this time for Spinola. She's a lovely kicker of the ball, but unfortunately not quite enough power this time.
So Portugal to get us back underway here. Looking to that right-hand side. She's sliced that a little bit, scuffed it a little bit, got under it with the connection. And that'll give Turkey the opportunity to maybe put some phases together. They started the game well. They were up there in the Portuguese 22. And that's where they'll want to get to once more.
Yeah, we can see why kickers are. Trying to kick it to that side. There's a strong sun up there, not easy to catch and grab hold of. But unfortunately, the kick not quite good enough on that occasion. And Turkey decide to opt for the scrum in the middle. Give them a full pitch, both sides to work with.
Now Portugal just reshuffled in the last minute there to close off that blind side, but Turkey giving it a real go. She's a little bit isolated, attempts to offload, footballing skills, didn't quite work off, and Portugal back in possession. They look to transition quickly into attack, and they do so. They're going through that gap in the middle once more. Turkey showing good speed to quickly close her back down again, but Portugal remain in possession with momentum, and we have another Portuguese score. Maria João Costa compounding Turkey's woes.
Yeah, Portugal are starting to show their class there. Good scramble defense there. Turkey with the attack out wide. One of your favorite players from yesterday, Dilmac, trying to attack the outside shoulder, but not quite enough pace to get round there. And unfortunately, not quite enough support from her teammates. Portugal then forcing that turnover, and they're showing that they do have the pace and they do have the support players to get over that try line.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a good Portuguese team. I described them as being the more experienced outfit before. And I think they're just starting to show that in this game, aren't they? Good skill set, good experience, and making light work of it at the moment. That's a very good kick-off. Well fielded though from Kosa. Falling awkwardly, unfortunately. The toes just creeping over the whitewash. And that is half-time here. A very good take from the kick-off. Good run. Manhandled though on the floor.
As you said, San Koza there, lovely take, two-handed. Immediately looks to advance down the try line there, but great cover defense coming in from Portugal and forcing the player into touch.
Inspira, aguenta 1, 2, 3, põe fora. Última, inspira, 1, 2, 3, põe fora. Simples, está bem? Simples e eficaz. É bem gerir aqui os pontapés de saída. Se for para a direita outra vez, mete só um bocadinho com mais confiança ao pé na bola, para a bola subir, para dar tempo à Inês para ir lá buscá-la. Duas mãos e vamos buscar, está bem? Ler, Raquel, pessoas que estávamos a falar na melee, elas vão querer sempre explorar. Portanto, nós ficamos com uma do lado de cá, tranquilo, ou no eixo, para poder reagir mais rápido, está bem? Estão a perceber aquilo que está a acontecer sempre que nós atacamos bem para cima da defesa delas, que elas são efetivamente a juntar 3 ou 4 jogadoras. Quando tiverem 2 ou 3 lá...
Haydi. Buradan bir, iki, üç, Türkiye. Haydi.
Great to hear that energy from the Turkish team as we see the replays here of a Portuguese try. That was João Costa, the last one of the bunch. So 17 points separating the teams. A lot on the line, a lot riding on this match, like I said. The opportunity to secure participation in the Rugby Championship in next season. Nice little shimmy, catching and stepping simultaneously, rolling and releasing and rolling again. And Portugal going from deep. Shrugging off a couple of tacklers and showing incredible pace before being taken down by Bolat. And she's got real pace. And it's a scrum down to Turkey. It was a maul. Even though she got a knee down, enough players were engaged from both teams for it to be classed as a maul.
Yeah, Costa making a break there, trying to go the full half of the rugby field for the score, but great chase back by Dilmach to start with, and then Bolat came in to finish the tackle off, and then they secured the turnover. So good chase and good support play, good work and defense, good work rate by the Turkish players.
So Portuguese scrum, deep in this Turkish 22. Ball just being scrappily played out the back there. And that scrum is not quite stable, a little bit of jiggery pokery in there. So the Portuguese scrum half quite rightly saying, I don't want to put the ball in there if they're standing like that. And the referee resets it. A little fumble there, pressure from Turkey, quick off the line. But Portugal still with possession. But Turkish defence staying well connected there, working laterally. But that's the space they want on the outside. Well covered again, that drift defence working very well for Turkey. Until Portugal use all their experience to work the space on the outside channel.
Yeah, Martin's gone over for the try. She's got fantastic footwork. But what I liked, we talked about it earlier on, in the side-to-side system, you know, moving the ball one way, moving it the other way, waiting for the opportunity to arise. There'll be a gap in that defensive line somewhere, and that's all Portugal did. They retained possession and then waited for the gap to appear which it did for Martins, and she goes over for another score for her record.
Conversion unsuccessful, 22-0, with 3.5 minutes left to play. By the time they kick off here, it'll be more like, yeah, 3. Eating down the clock. Running down the clock. And making changes just to run down that clock a little bit more. Bit of game management here. Referee adamant they should play now, and they do. It's a scrappy old kick. Fielded by Turkey, she's wrapped up well and monster to the deck. Little dart down the blind side. Turkey backing their pace. Oh, unfortunate. That was Cem.
Yeah, great work from Costa though. She stayed round the ruck side, chased her back and made that all-important tackle to get a Portugal line out.
Koza with the tackle. And again, the gap in the middle. The Turkish defence seems to be working so much better in their own 22 than in the middle of the field, where they all of a sudden start working as 1s and 2s. Once more, they track back well, though, and have earned the penalty. Hanging on to their last little lifeline here in this one. You can see that technique, absolutely fantastic, from Turkey's number 8, Dilmaç. So it'll be another set-piece opportunity here for Turkey. From this line out here in their own half, looking to progress through the zones and scratch that 0 from the scoreboard. Portugal winning that ball against throw. Straight into attack here, hitting a hard line. That's Mariana Santos. We all know all about her. Great pace to finish this one off.
Yeah, Mariana Santos getting the ball and just coming off her right leg, stepping off her left leg, just showing that acceleration, going between 2 defenders and scoring almost under the post there. Lovely bit of work. You see the ball moving from hand to hand as well. Great bit of skills.
Here we see the conversion once again just being scuffed a little bit. Not the best of strikes. But that won't have any effect on the result of this game as we have 30 seconds left. And Turkey would need 4 scores if they were to win this one. I'm sure they'd be happy if just to get a consolation though. And like I said, scratch that 0, but it's knocked on once more. And it'll be the other way round. Portugal, they'll get the last roll of the dice in this one.
Yeah, a bit frustrating from Turkey there, not being able to hold on to the ball and coughing up for a Portuguese scrum and giving them one more opportunity to attack this line.
And Turkey back in possession. Oh, and conceding a penalty. How unfortunate. And with that knock on, it will be the end of the game. Portugal progress to the 9th place playoff game. which is hugely important for them, like I said before the game. By winning this, they put real pressure on Turkey, who finished at one position above them in Makarska. Turkey in 10th at the moment and Portugal in 11th, but that'll be swapped, most likely, after this.